Okay, let's talk about a feeling that is so strange and honestly, so frustrating. It's that feeling of being completely frozen by a goal you are genuinely, deeply excited about. I mean, it makes no sense, right? It feels like a total paradox. But it turns out there's a really fascinating reason your own ambition can sometimes feel like total paralysis.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Have you ever had that light bulb moment, that brilliant idea, or that perfect opportunity just staring you in the face? And instead of jumping in, you just stop? You hit a wall? If that sounds familiar, I promise you are not alone. It's a surprisingly common and incredibly confusing thing to go through.
You can totally see it, right? The finish line, the success, what it's all going to look like. The ideas are all there, just swirling around, you're so excited, but then when you actually sit down to do the thing, it's like there's this massive disconnect. Your body just feels heavy and absolutely refuses to cooperate.
And this really captures that paradox perfectly. On one hand, you've got your mind, just this beautiful, chaotic storm of ideas going 400 miles per hour, and on the other hand, you've got your body, completely still, like it's anchored in concrete. It's this wild contradiction that we really need to understand. So, what is actually going on in our brains?
Well, it all comes down to your brain's ancient hardwired safety system. Seriously, let's take a look at how something incredibly positive, like a huge, exciting opportunity, can accidentally trip this internal alarm system. So, the main character in this story is a little part of your brain called the amygdala. The best way to think of it is as your brain's personal bodyguard. Its one and only job is to constantly scan your environment for danger and keep you safe. And it is very, very good at its job. Maybe a little too good sometimes.
Okay, now this is the most important part to get. Your amygdala doesn't really know the difference between a good disruption and a bad one. To the amygdala, change is change. So a huge life-altering opportunity, even a fantastic one, is still seen as a major disruption to what it knows is a safe, predictable routine. It sees a big change on the horizon, and it immediately sounds the alarm.
And get this whole process is practically instantaneous. It happens in a flash. First, that big, exciting goal shows up. Almost immediately, your amygdala flags it, warning, threat to stability. And then, before your logical brain can even get a word in, that primal freeze response kicks in, designed to protect you from danger by literally stopping you in your tracks.
So this brings us to a really crucial way to reframe this whole experience. That feeling of being stuck, it is not a character flaw, it is not laziness, and it's not a lack of willpower. It's actually a very, very important signal from your body. I really want you to hear this. That heavy, leaden feeling in your body, that frustrating inability to move forward, that is your nervous system's way of screaming at you that the stakes are high. The very intensity of that freeze response is actually a measure of how much this goal truly means to you.
And this is it, isn't it? This is the inner monologue so many of us fall into. We feel that paralysis and we immediately start beating ourselves up, labeling ourselves lazy or unmotivated. But as we're about to see, that is not the question your brain is actually asking.
You see, your conscious mind is all worried about productivity and getting things done. But your ancient survival brain, it's on a completely different channel. It's not asking, how can I succeed? It's asking, what do I need to do to stay safe? It's trying to protect you from what it sees as this huge, stressful, unknown thing ahead.
Okay, so what do we do about it? If the problem is a nervous system that feels unsafe, the solution isn't to just power through it. No, the real solution is to actively send it signals of safety. And we're going to look at 3 super simple physical ways to do exactly that. And remember, the goal here isn't to conquer the entire project or achieve the whole dream in one afternoon. The only goal right now is to calm your nervous system down just enough to feel safe. Just safe enough to take one tiny, manageable step forward. That's it.
These little anchors are so powerful because they're physical and they work right away. So first, just feel your feet on the floor. Really press them down. This sends a grounding signal to your brain that says, hey, you're stable, you're supported. Second, some gentle physical contact, like just placing a hand on your chest or your stomach, can be incredibly soothing. And third, forget about the whole project for a second and just focus on one single thing, your very next breath. In and out. That is your only job. So as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with a much kinder perspective on all this. This whole experience can be wrapped up in so much shame, but it really doesn't have to be. Let's talk about giving yourself permission. Just let that one sink in for a second. Feeling overwhelmed is not a sign that you are weak or broken. More often than not,
It's a sign that you are ambitious, that you are trying so hard, and maybe, just maybe, you're trying to carry a really heavy load all by yourself. It's a sign of your effort, not your failure. And this is the permission slip that you might really need to hear today. You are allowed to rest before the work is done. You do not have to wait until you are completely burnt out to take a break. Taking a moment to find your anchor, to breathe, to just pause, that is a strategic part of the process. It's not giving up. It's recharging so you can keep going.
So the real secret here is to learn how to work with your nervous system instead of fighting against it. The next time you feel that exciting paralysis creep in, instead of getting frustrated, just try asking yourself, what's one small thing I can do